Yes, a very good afternoon, students. Today we are going to start the poem My Mother at 66, written by Kamala Das. This poem, My Mother at 66, basically it's an autobiographical account by poet. Here, Kamala Das is actually recounting her own experience, the experience of the time when she got separated from her mother. But at that time, she's recounting her another experience of her childhood when she often used to feel that she might lose her mother sometime in her life. So she had a childhood fear that she might lose her mother. So all children, it's a universal fact, like all children are afraid of losing their, you know, near and dear ones. Especially that's why the small children don't lose sight of their mother for even 1 minute. So, as a child, Kamala Das often used to feel that she might lose her mother, and that as she grew up, that fear subsided somewhere in her subconscious, and she even got married off, settled in her own life. So once one she came to her parents' place to see her mother. She might have come during vacation, and after at the end of the vacation, when she was leaving her parents' place, Uh, then she was going to the Cochin airport by car. At that time, her mother was with her, sitting beside her. So her mother might have come to see her off at the Cochin airport. So at that time, this is the poem about the time when she was in the car, when her mother was sitting beside her. So it is a time when Kamala Das is leaving her parents' place to go to her in-laws, and at this time, the feelings which she comes across, the feelings which she has. So it's the poem about that. So children, it's a universal aspect that all girls, when they leave their parents' place, they become emotional. Number one, you must all know this. At this emotional time, everybody, feels, all girls especially, they feel that they never know whether they'll be able to see their parents again or not. So basically, it's only an emotional outburst which comes up like this. So at that time, when they were going to the Cochin airport, Kamala Das was driving the car and her mother was sitting beside her. So at that time, while driving, Kamala Das happens to look at her mother and she finds that her mother was sleeping. Her mother was dozing off with her mouth wide open. So when she finds her mother dozing off in that awkward manner, she feels she realizes that her mother has actually become very old, and at that time she even looks at her mother's face very closely and finds that her mother's face had become very old, wrinkled, and pale. So that face resembled like that of a corpse, that is a dead body. So mother's pale and aged face makes Kamala Das become very emotional because already she was leaving her mother because she was going to her in laws. And secondly, the sight of a mother having become very old made Kamala Das all the more emotional. And she felt as if her mother's end had come near because her face resembled like that of a corpse. So, children, this is again one more thing, one more aspect is there. Like, we never ever think about negative things. We never ever imagine the death of any near and dear ones. And the moment she thought like that, she felt like keeping, like putting that thought away, because we don't want to think about bad things or the death like things. Even we don't want to even think about them. So at that very moment she decided to think about something else. So that thought about thinking about something else came subconsciously, instantly, uh, without even she didn't even have to think about it. It just happened all of a sudden. So at that time she looked out of the window. If, now you must understand, like just at that minute, was looking at her mother, and the moment she looked at her mother, she found her mother having become very old and nearing death. So she didn't want to think about her mother's death, and instantly she looked out of the window, and outside she saw. exactly the opposite to what she had seen inside the car. Inside the car, what had she seen? She had seen her old, aged, and passive mother, right? But outside the window, she saw something exactly opposite to old age, opposite to passivity, old age to awkwardness, old age to lethargy or death. So outside she saw life. Outside she saw energy. Outside she saw movement. Outside she saw rejuvenating faces, happy faces. Mother was dozing off with mouth wide open awkwardly, and outside she saw all the more energetic or rejuvenating faces of young children. So outside, what she saw, that was full of movement, energy, youth, vigor, and all. So first she saw the trees sprinting past. So the car was moving ahead, and of course the trees which were there on either side of the road, they appeared to be moving past. And so the trees which were green, so trees, symbolic of life, bountiful nature. And another thing which she saw was that she saw children coming out of their homes, spilling out of their homes happily. So number one, children. Number two, which are children are also symbolic of spring of one's life. Children are symbolic of happiness. Children are symbolic of rejuvenation, or joy, happiness, energy, youth, vigor. So and they all coming out of their homes happily. So both of the sides of either the trees or of children, they both symbolized, life, happiness, energy, vigor. And inside the car, what was there? Old age, passivity, okay, death. So exactly the opposite she found outside. So during this time, by this time they reached the airport. Even at the airport, Kamla Das did not look at her mother. But in the end, after all the formalities like security check and all, finally, when they were about to leave, when Kamala Das was about to take her flight, when she was about to leave her mother, then finally, when she again looked at her mother. So it was at this time that her childhood fear resurfaced. What was her childhood fear? Her childhood fear was that she might lose her mother. And today, when she was leaving her mother to go to her in law's place, then her childhood fear that she might lose her mother, that her mother might die. So that fear came up again. So she felt that fear again coming and dominating her. Despite that fear, despite her overwhelming, uh, self, despite the way she was getting over emotional and sentimental, Kamla Das put up a brave front. She put up a big smile on her face and said to her mother, "See you, Amma." So in the end, despite the fact like Kamala Das was so, and you can say so sentimental, emotional, she was fearing that her mother might die one day or the other, though she didn't want to leave her mother. But even then, she knew that she has to go on because whatever might happen in our life, the show must go on. So the Kamla Das, before quitting, leaving that place, she told her mother, "See you soon, Amma." And at the time, she had a big and broad smile on her face. So with these words, with these parting words, "See you soon, Amma," Kamla Das went off. So the poem "My Mother at 66" is about Kamla Das's experience when she is leaving her mother to go to her in-laws' place, and at that time she becomes emotional. So this poem is about that experience when girls become emotional, and are at and don't want to leave it, but still, because the life is such, you cannot stop at one place. The show must go on, right? So now let's do the poem line to line. My Mother at 66, written by Kamla Das. Kamla Das was born in Malabar, Kerala. She is recognized as one of India's foremost poets. Her works are known for their originality, versatility, and the indigenous flavor of the soil. So Kamla Das is known for her original works. She is known for different kinds of write-ups and the indigenous flavor of the soil. So her her works, her poems are full of the original flavor of that Malabar, that is Kerala. Kamla Das has published many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam under the name Madhvika Kuti. So she has got her this pen name, and she has written so many novels and short stories in English and Malayalam. Some of her works in English include the novel Alphabet of Lust, which was published in 1977, a collection of short stories Padmavati, The Harlot, and the other stories in 1992. In addition to 5 books of poetry, she is a sensitive writer who captures the complex subtleties of human relationships in lyrical idiom. My Mother at 66 is an example. So she has penned down her feelings on subtle human relationships. And this poem, My Mother at 66, is one such example. So aging is a natural process, right? So when one is born, when a human being is born, he undergoes so many stages, and the last stage of that human being is the old age. So it's a process of human growth. So that process you cannot deny. So what is our duty? What is our moral duty? We must accept old age gracefully. Okay, even old age and in the end death. So it's about acceptance, acceptance with a smile, acceptance with a positive note. So, driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday. First, I'm going to read out the whole poem, and you will see like the whole poem uh, is all in one sentence. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spelling, out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale, as a late winter's moon, and felt that an old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." All I did was smile and smile and smile. Let's read this poem once again so that you are able to appreciate the way the poet has written such subtle human relationship in such a lyrical manner. In just one sentence, the whole experience has been expressed. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday, I saw my mother beside me, doors open mouthed, her face ashen like that of a corpse, and realized with pain that she was as old as she looked, but soon put that thought away and looked out at young trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check, standing a few yards away, I looked again at her, wan, pale, as a late winter's moon, and felt that old familiar ache, my childhood's fear. But all I said was, "See you soon, Amma." And all I did was smile and smile and smile. Now, see the explanation. Driving from my parents' home to Cochin last Friday morning, I saw my mother beside me. So, the poet was leaving her parents' home and was heading towards the Cochin airport to go to her in laws. She was driving the car, and her mother was sitting beside her. So it was last Friday morning when the poet was leaving her mother's place to go for her in-laws, to go to her in-laws. And she was going to the Cochin airport by car. Her mother accompanied her to see her off, and her mother sat beside her in the car. I saw my mother beside me doze, open mouthed. So at that time, when her mother was sitting beside her, and Kamala Das was driving, then during on the way, Kamala Das looked at her mother. She saw her mother. She happened to have a look at her mother and found that her mother was dozing off. Her mother was taking a short nap, open mouthed. At this time, her mother's mouth was open. She was she was dozing with mouth wide open, her face ashen like that of a corpse. And at the time, her face looked like a corpse. At that time, the face of mother looked pale like that of a corpse. See the simile over here, Simile. Her face looked ashen. Her face looked pale like that of a dead body. So here, like that of a like word is used, so it's a simile. And realized with pain that she was as old as she looked. So this sight of having of the sight of her mother having become old, and the sight of her mother looking like a dead body because of the pale face, Kamla Das was full of pain. She was like full of that pain and agony, and she realized with pain that her mother had become very old, but soon put that thought away. And instantly, she decided to dispel her thoughts of negativity, or she decided to dissipate her thought of the death of her mother. See, she looked at her mother and saw that her mother had become very old, and her mother's face resembled like that of a dead body because of its paleness. The moment she felt like this, she dissipated, she uh, uh, she dispelled her thoughts and looked out at a young tree sprinting. So she decided to dissipate her thoughts about her mother's death and looked out of the tree, and looked out of means looked out of the car. And what did she find? Young trees sprinting. The moment she looked out of the car, she found the young trees sprinting. So young trees are the green trees. So outside, she saw the green, lush green tree, the trees having lush green leaves, they were running past the car. So she found the trees sprinting past, running past. Obviously, the car was running ahead and the trees seemed to be moving past. So she saw the young green trees running past, the merry children spilling. And instantly she saw another thing. She saw a merry, happy children coming out of their homes happily. Merry, happy children spilling out of their homes. Spilling means all coming out of their homes in a group. So the moment she looked out of the window, she saw young trees sprinting and happy children coming out of their homes in a whole group. So in the car, she had seen old mother dozing off awkwardly, looking very pale, somewhat like death. So in the car, she had seen old age. She had seen passivity because mother was sleeping. She was passive. Her mother had become very old, pale, wan. But outside, she saw exactly the opposite to old age, to passivity, or to death. Outside, she saw youth, maybe young trees, or maybe young children. So outside she saw youth, outside she saw energy. Trees were sprinting and even the children were spilling. So movement is there, energy is there. And then there is rejuvenation, there is joy, happiness. So inside there was no happiness, there was no rejuvenation, there was no energy, there was all passivity, but outside exactly the opposite. So see the contrast. So in order to bring about a contrast in death and life, the poet Kamala Das has given us beautiful imagery in the use of trees sprinting and merry children spinning. So here, children, young trees sprinting. When I'm speaking, when you're reading the line, she looked out at young trees sprinting. Instantly, I guess you all might have got a visual imagery in your mind. You might have been able to imagine or visualize the road with trees and your car running and the trees sprinting past. So this is a visual imagery where we are able to have a vision of the road with trees sprinting past. So here the poet has used the visual imagery, young trees sprinting, and we have been given another imagery, the merry children spelling. So the happy children, they seem to be, we are able to have a vision of the happy children coming out of their homes. So in order to bring out the contrast in death and life, the poetess has employed beautiful imagery in two objects, one young trees sprinting, and second merry children spilling out of their homes. Got it? So what is this young tree sprinting? It is a visual imagery. What is merry children spilling out of their homes? It is another example of visual imagery in the poem. And the purpose of this imagery is to make us realize like how much contrast is there in our life. Life is just not, about one shade. It's about various shades. Okay. So on one side, if there is old age, then on the other side, there is youth. If on one side there is death, then on the other side there is life. So life is just not about one thing. It's not that if we come across something negative, if we come across some dark shade of life, then we must stop and keep brooding about that only. No, darker shades must make us look at the brighter shade of life as well. Okay, if at some times we become sad because of some negativity around us, then at that time we must look at the brighter side of life as well, right? If on one side there is old age, then the life is offering us many moments when we are able to celebrate our life. So trees sprinting, the merry children spilling out of their homes. But after the airport security check. But after the airport security check means, and afterwards, so here Kamla Das looked out of the window and found the life saviors. She found herself having a positive, view of life. Then they reached the airport. She did not look at her mother. So all these formalities were done. She did not look at her mother. And after the security check and all, but after the airport security check, standing a few yards, standing a few yards away. So I looked again at her. So who was standing a few yards away? Mother. So after the formalities at the airport, what formalities? For example, security check and all. After Kamla Das had undergone all these formalities at the airport, so finally, when she had to leave her mother because she had to take her flight, so before leaving her mother, before taking the flight, finally she again looked at her mother. I looked again at her. So again, what is symbolic of? Like earlier, she looked at her mother when she was in the car, and after that she never looked at her mother again in the car or in the airport because she was afraid that the sight of her mother will again make her sad. So this is a human nature. Like we people try to dissipate negativity as far as possible. We always try not to think about negative or darker shades of life for as long as possible. But but the reality is that we have to accept whatever the reality is. Acceptance has to be there. So I looked at her again. So again, Kamla Das looked at her mother. Now the question arises, why did she look at her mother? Because now she was going to leave her. She was going to take her flight. And before leaving her mother, she dared not leave her mother without looking at her. So she had to look at her mother. Van pale. Again, when she looked at her mother, she found her having become van pale. Pale, anemic. She found her mother having become pale or van, weak, discolored, the one who had lost all the vitality or youth. Okay, when she looked at her mother again, found that her mother had lost all that youth, all that beauty, and had become pale as a late winter's moon. So she found her mother looking uh, pale and wan like late winter's moon. Another simile in the poem. One simile was in the previous lines where the poet was saying that she looked like that of a corpse. That was a simile. Now she looked like a late winter's moon. Now she found the mother looking like a late winter's moon. Now the point is, it's okay to compare her mother with moon, but moon is symbolic of beauty, brightness, and in the winter the moon becomes very during winter, number one, the moon comes late winter's moon is like, number one, the moon is hidden in the during winter, the moon is hidden behind the fog or mist. So moon is not very bright because it's veiled by fog or mist, or you can say clouds. So during the winter, moon is not as bright as it happens to be in the summer or spring. So the mother looking like late winter's moon because now she has become very old. She has lost all her vitality, all her beauty, all her shine or brightness. The way moon loses her the way moon loses its brightness in the winter season. Got it? So as a late winter's moon. So another simile in the poem, and felt that old familiar ache. So when she found her mother having become like late winter's moon, without that brightness, without that beauty or shine, she felt that familiar ache. She realized that her old familiar, that her old that the childhood fear which she used to have has come up again. Familiar means she already known. She was accustomed to that fear. Ache is a pain. Now, when she looked at her mother again at the airport, she realized that her childhood fear had come up again, that her childhood fear had resurfaced again. So, what made her childhood fear resurface today? The thought of separating from her mother. Okay? The thought of the fact like her mother had become very old. So, old age is followed by death. So, this made her become very sad, and she was, but all I said was, so though she was very pained, she was very afraid, she was really very unhappy about the fact like her mother had become very old and soon she would be nearing death. Despite that fear, but all I said was, see you soon, Amma. But despite that fear, the poet, mustered up all courage and said, see you soon, Amma. The poet was able to say only one thing, see you soon, Amma. And all I did was smile and smile and smile. So that the parting words of the poetess were only these words, see you soon. And what she only did was she only smiled and smiled and smiled. So her smile, so here the word smile and smile and smile, smile word has been repeated. So here the poetic device is repetition, refrain, repetition is there. So why has the word smile been repeated? To emphasize upon the pain hidden inside the poet's mind. So basically, when the poet was smiling and smiling and smiling, actually it is the pain she was hiding. Actually, it is the anguish she was hiding about, or the fear she was hiding about the death of her mother. So poetess, the Kamla Das, while leaving her mother at the Cochin airport, became very emotional in the end and wanted to cry out, but she did not. But she only smiled. So smile here is indicative of a pain. So why did she smile and smile and smile? To hide her pain, to hide her fear. So she was not actually happy at this time. She was not actually smiling to show her happiness. She was only smiling to hide her pain. And that is what happens in real life also. At each moment, at each junction of life, we are not able to, expose our feelings. Sometimes we are very happy from within, but we put up a bad face just to let others that we are very sorry, but from within sometimes we happen to be very relaxed. Okay, sometimes we are very sad from within, but we put up a brave front and we say, okay, everything is okay. No, no, everything is okay, fine. So this is what poetess was doing. So here, the poetic devices, the main ones which we have discussed is, like, we have discussed the two similes, we have discussed the imagery, two imageries, we have discussed one repetition over here, right? And apart from that, there are other poetic devices which we'll be discussing tomorrow. So now the time is almost over. So one full poem we have done. Go through the last questions. Text questions are there. So what is the kind of pain and the ache that the poet feels? What's the kind of pain and ache that she feels? Come on, who will give the answer? Yes, come on.